What is going on, everybody? And welcome to another episode of the Huddle Within Podcast. I've got TJ, I've got Kenny back with me again, talking all things NFL. We're on week 12 at the moment. We just saw a crazy comeback from the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if it was a comeback or whether Philly choked, but they ended up winning 24-21. And it's obviously happening right now of this recording, but we are going to be breaking down just past the mid-season sort of recap and breakdown and what we think based on our obviously preseason talk. We wanted to run it back, and Kenny's done some NBA stuff. TJ's come, as you know, with the NFL heat, and he's coming back here to talk things about that. So welcome, boys, to the pod.
What's up? What's going on, guys? What's up?
Long time no see. What's going on?
Yeah, it's the first time of the recording. I think the Jets have been struggling, TJ. What's going on with them, man? What's happening?
Quarterback, defense, offensive line, been great. Special teams, been solid. Brees Hall looks good. I have no idea. We're the Jets.
These are the Jets. I mean,
they need to blow it up. That's what they need.
Well, they're on that verge, getting rid of Sauce for 2 first rounders. I kind of like that. They got some nice picks to pick up next season. Who are you liking in the quarterback class next year?
Mendoza.
Yeah.
Well, okay, hold on. Like Mendoza, but I think we wait one more year for a quarterback, if I'm being honest.
You think you pick up like maybe a stationary guy just to stub in for like a year?
I'm not too fond of this draft this year.
It's not that strong.
Next year should be, if you don't draft a quarterback, it's just to get a quarterback that makes you guys somewhat entertaining at least. So it's like, even if you're losing, at least you guys have like, your guys are getting some good plays. Like if you draft, like let's say it's another star receiver, tight end, or someone, they get stats. You gotta get to see some improvement. But yeah, I don't like the draft this year, honestly, for quarterback either as much. Like I haven't seen much that I've liked other than like Mendoza was a good one, but like Arch has been so disappointing outside of recently. He's been better, but it's just been kind of like an up and down year for a lot of these QBs, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if we can get Anthony Richardson. I think that's like one guy that I think deserves one more shot and would be like a long shot, if we don't draft him anybody this year.
He also come at a cheap price too. That's the biggest thing. He comes at a cheap price, but I mean, I would also try to. How about this? Like, what about just re-signing Joe Flacco? Get that guy back on your team. Look what he's doing with the Bengals, man. He's running the offense for the Bengals has looked pretty good under him. Honestly, the defense has been putrid, but you get a guy like Joe Flacco back in New York. Maybe he might get some heads turning over there. Maybe get a lot of third.
Joe Flacco to change New York Jets' dreams, get him into the playoffs.
No, I feel like most quarterbacks will go to Cincinnati and succeed. I mean, when you're throwing to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins,
they're both going to be out.
It can't be much easier than that.
Well, Jamar Chase is back next week, but Higgins just got an injury. I think he got concussed today. So that's going to be a shame.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
You can talk about Jamar Chase and T. Higgins all we want, but you have to have a good quarterback. Jake Browning, everyone was thinking Jake Brown was going to come in and be like, oh, he's going to be decent enough. He has Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. He was like one of the worst quarterbacks we've seen in the last few years. Like he was like Nathan Peterman level borderline, like with some of the games he played. And that was like, think about Nathan Peterman, that one game he had with the Bills where they were down like 40-0 by half almost. And it's like, literally, I think, who was it that retired halfway through the game? Someone retired halfway through that game. Literally, they said, I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it was that bad with Browning. Like, you saw it on the faces of players. So it's like, you need a decent quarterback to at least make your players happy. Even if they're not like winning you all the games, it's only one person can win, and you gotta at least do something for the fans. Because at this point, man, Jets fans are like looking for something, at least something to hold on to say, hey, like, all right, we got this to go forward. Like, they gotta find something.
Yeah. I think we're in the same boat as well, the Saints. Obviously, another loss to the Falcons just today. Alvin Kamara getting hurt. Obviously, lost Shaheed as well. I'm looking at Mekhi Lemon, man. I just like the name. That's it. That's the only person I know in the draft. Mekhi Lemon. Just the name itself brings aura. Obviously, a wide receiver. I think he's the third best in this class. I don't think obviously that's going to help anything. But when we have Tyler Shock there, I don't see us getting a quarterback. So maybe someone on the edge, or just go hard on a big wideout player to just pair up with Chris Olave and just change the fortunes around.
Tyler Shoug's been quite a big surprise for me, I think. Like, since he's come in, I've been pretty shocked with how good he's been. He's been, obviously, it's like this, the Saints aren't the best team, but like, you could kind of see the flashes. Like, and when you get to see some type of flashes, that's like something, like I said, you can hold on to that where you're like, wow, like, all right, this guy showed some real stuff. Like, maybe if we put some real talent around him, keep guys healthy, keep the O-line good, like, get a good O-line, like, maybe we could have something here,
Yeah. The last 2 drafts we've drafted 2 O-line players, so I'm not sure where they're going to go this season.
This is the best year Olave's had under any QB for the last, since he's been drafted.
Because he's been healthy. He hasn't
Yeah.
been concussed, man. That's the
Yeah,
main thing.
so this has been his best year, and like, I mean, again, that goes to show like maybe he's. I mean, he also did well with Rattler there too, but I mean, I think he's looked a lot better with Show. Like under the center, so it's like,
He actually looks very confident too. I mean, I know, like you
yeah,
said,
yeah.
he's throwing to Olave, not many other weapons that he has, but he looks like he has decent confidence.
Yeah, we just got to add Lemon, man. Lemon and Olave, mate. Around the back,
Yeah,
I
give him
reckon.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, listen, I
man.
think anything's there, but like you also gotta try to hit on those late picks, man. I don't think people talk about that enough with the draft. Is those first 3 rounds usually are like, all right, like you get some good players, but like people make some winning like teams based off like the late like 5th, 6th, 7th.
Oh,
Like
that's
some of
true.
the great teams have elite 5th, 6th round picks that come in and end up being like all pros, and it's like where like people pass on these guys, and it's like where are you guys getting these players from? And it's like, oh, we dropped them in the 6th round.
How about Shador Sanders today?
Yeah, he played good today, but I'm still kind of
That's the
waiting
Raiders.
for like
Don't
a
trust
little.
him. It's the Raiders.
I'm still waiting I'm still waiting for consistency with him though. Like if he has like one great game, one bad game, it's kind of like, it's like 50-50. I want to see like consistent games of like if he played like this today to like the next week and the week after that, I'll be like, all right, he's showing flashes now because it's like, all right, he's showing consistent level of competent quarterback play. But
yeah, we brought up.
if he's just doing what he
Joking.
did, like if he does what he did last week, it's like, dude, like
Yeah, he had a
this
shocker
guy
last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there is an argument to say if him or Dylan Gabriel is going to be the quarterback going forward, but I don't think Raiders is a good sample size. And they made my take look stupid. I thought they were going to be one of the most underrated teams coming in. They're looking shocking. Geno Smith, I don't know about that. I don't know. I can't trust Shador Sanders right now. I did like what I saw today, but again, I think we need to really see in the next few weeks how he'll go. I think he is going to get the starting spot next week. Is Dylan Gabriel not back yet? Still injured?
I think he's still injured right now.
I honestly think even if he gets cleared, though, I think Shador starts. I really do. I think he gets the rest of the year.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
like this is the biggest thing. I think it goes until like let's say he had another bad game this week. I think it would be a different story. I think him having a good game this week, it's like one of
Keeps
those
his
things
spot.
as a coaching staff. It's like you want to keep that momentum going. Like don't kill the kid's confidence after he had a good game. Maybe he could build off it. So
Yeah.
like the same thing. It's like you can't like he's gonna probably make a few mistakes. Everyone like he's a rookie, but like having a guy that's gonna come in and like Dylan Gabriel, like he's shown he could be decent, but he showed flashes, but I still didn't see anything crazy where I was like, oh, he's like definitely the guy. Like I would still probably look to draft or upgrade the QB spot from him if like let's say Shador shows up and he plays better or something along those lines. Like I don't know. It's not a definite spot where you have to just stick to Gabriel. I think Shador should keep getting some more reps.
Yeah, totally agree. Well, I think we'll sort of get into the wraps of today. Obviously, we had our preseason predictions, and I think a lot of them went out the park with a few surprising teams. Now, I know the Colts just lost today in OT against Kansas City in a must-win game. They proved that when things really matter, when they really need to get it done, they do get it done. But have a look at their record, 8-3. The Broncos, I did think they'd be up there, so I'm not too surprised about the 9-2. But another big surprise is also the Patriots that are 10-2 right now, and it's making the AFC look very open when it comes to that Super Bowl spot and who's going to take it out. Because, yeah, a lot of these teams you wouldn't have expected, like the Colts now, like where did this come from? Jonathan Taylor is literally like a lock for Offensive Player of the Year. He's been that good.
I'm gonna just start off with this one, dude. The Colts. It all starts, I think, with them. Quentin Nelson and that offensive line have been unreal this year. They have been easily the best offensive line in football, in my opinion. I also think Daniel Jones, obviously coming out the year hot and kind of bringing that like, wow, like this guy's gonna come out and be like our version of like Andrew Luck per se, like and be like our quarterback that we look to and like, wow, like this guy's doing amazing things and he can run the ball.
How do you feel about that, Kenny, being at the Giants and now he's just
Giants are a lost cause. We could get to that later on because I think the Giants deserve a separate segment of just like being trashed on for a minute. I have quite a few things to say about them, but
sure, we'll
I
bring
think,
them up for sure.
Daniel Jones had a great start to the year, and I think it just like I just think having a great start to the year sometimes catapults you and builds your momentum up like so much. Like I was saying with Shador, like you have momentum, keep it going. Don't like bring the guy down if he makes a few mistakes. Like Daniel Jones has made mistakes. He had a bad game not that long ago, a few weeks ago. He looked like old Daniel Jones. Everyone's like, oh, this is Daniel Jones of old. And then he comes back and he has another great game. And then now he played really pretty good today against the Chiefs, right? I think he had a pretty solid game. I'm not saying he played perfect, but I think he had a solid game. And it's like that's the catapult of the season. Jonathan Taylor now. This guy was not healthy last year, in my opinion. He wasn't fully healthy the year before that. But if we remember 2 years ago, he was easily one of the best running backs in the game, like no doubt. And obviously, we talk about fantasy a lot. He was like a top fantasy producer like a couple years ago. He kind of fell off a little bit because of injuries. The team is kind of mid, like, not really good quarterback play. And the O-line had a lot of injuries too. Dude, this year has been like lockdown for them. They have been unbelievable with the O-line. The run game has been there. They got Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren has been undoubtedly like one of the best players on their team in the offense, let alone out of the class that they drafted, right? The rookie class. So everything just kind of went right for them. But now it's kind of like the expectations are high. You trade for Sauce Gardner, you make a steep price. 2 first-round picks is a lot.
2 first-round picks is crazy, man.
A lot.
Crazy.
It's a lot, man. And like that to me is like when I said, okay, the expectations shifted because you don't trade for 2 first-round picks unless you're certain this team.
I respect it. As crazy as it is, I do respect it because it just shows that the Colts are serious. They want to be a big player, and that's like respectable.
Yeah, they're going for it.
That defense was solid from the jump. Start of the season, they looked great. So to add Sauce, that makes their defense even better. And even Michael Pittman stepped up this year too. And Alec Pierce, he's a great deep bomb threat. So he's looked good. Daniel Jones, shocker. Absolute shocker. I mean, he kind of is giving me the same vibe as Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold leaves New York and second chance. And they're going to take it and run with it.
Sometimes that second chance, though, like, it could either be great or it could be, like, the nail in the coffin, right? So it's like Sam Darnold, when he left the Jets, it wasn't looking too hot originally, and then he went to the Vikings, and it was like, all right, this is his chance to show if he really is still a good quarterback in this league or if he can be a good quarterback in this league, and he came out and showed it. Daniel Jones, same thing. He was on the Giants for a few years, high-paid contract, guy was getting crazy amount of money, wasn't performing as well. And again, like, that is not just on him. It could also be on the organization. As I said, like, they're a moribund franchise. But, he went to the Vikings a backup. Everyone was like, oh, like, why did they pick up Daniel Jones? And people are questioning, like, why are they questioning, like, bringing in Daniel Jones, like, to start potentially if Sam Darnold isn't playing well? Like, people are questioning that move. And honestly, now we see why. Like, maybe the quarterback whisperer that is Kevin O'Connell, right? The quarterback of the... He somehow knows good quarterbacks, right? And he kind of just said, oh, I got Darnold and I got Jones. And then he also had McCarthy as a red shirt that year. Daniel Jones went to the Colts and now he's like kind of just showing out. And like he's doing everything. He's playing the pass game well. He's running the ball well. How can, like, he was an MVP. I mean, I don't think he's an MVP candidate anymore, but he was a legit MVP candidate for at least the first 9 weeks of the season, which is mind-boggling.
I'll caveat and say that I feel like Jonathan Taylor, I know quarterbacks tend to win the MVP award, but I think he was probably the main MVP case, in my opinion. I think the run relief is huge for Daniel Jones, makes a big impact. But talking about Kevin O'Connell and the coaching staff, look at now having JJ McCarthy, you had a good chance to have 2 really good quarterbacks in your franchise, and now you're up to 4 and 7. I know maybe I'm probably being too hard on JJ, but yeah, the flowers are sort of being grown out to that.
I think the Vikings are definitely beating themselves over that one because, I mean, Sam Darnold looked great. Playoffs come. I'm pretty sure against the Giants. Good. I think it was against the Giants, right, where they lose in the playoffs, or no?
No. Giants weren't in the playoffs last. Who are you talking about for Sam Darnold, do you mean?
For Sam Darnold. Who did they lose?
No. It wasn't the Giants.
Rams. Was it the Rams?
It was the Rams, I believe.
Yeah. Rams they lost to.
Rams.
The Giants were shit last year.
The Giants were terrible last year.
Yeah. That was 2 years ago then. But I mean, Sam Darnold, last year, great year. I know they got booted in the playoffs, but do you really not pay him? You just let him go to the Seahawks? Now, JJ McCarthy, you assumed he was going to be a solid quarterback, but he came from Michigan, which is a college that was great, but they ran the ball. All they did was run the ball, and it made him look so good. Now, when he's got to throw against an NFL defense, he doesn't look too hot.
Well, I think I want to say something though in defense of the Vikings, right? This is the biggest thing I would say in regards to that whole thing, because I think everyone just tries to like say, oh, like you had Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy, like he was a rookie, whatever. Like if you sign Sam Darnold long term, let's just say like to a 3-4 year deal, that pretty much just tells JJ McCarthy, like, you got to just wait till Sam Darnold screws up. And if not, then you're just going to be a backup quarterback for us, or we're going to trade you somewhere. And that's sometimes.
But Sam Darnold was performing, though. Like, I know maybe the playoff was a small sample size, but he was performing. He got that.
No, he was.
It's a really good record.
I don't even think it's just that. I also think they wanted to justify taking him as high as they did. Because I think if JJ McCarthy was a second-round pick, for example, instead of where they drafted him, 6, right? I believe he was like a top 5.
High.
He was a high pick. Like, you want to justify that pick early because your fan base is going to be like, okay, Sam Darnold's a great player, but now we wasted the 6th pick on a quarterback when we have one. Now, instead of using that pick on a defensive guy or another receiver or a running back per se, like something like that, the fan base is going to go in revolt and be like, we want to see JJ McCarthy play because it's like, we used the 6 picks on this guy. We assume he's going to play well. And Darnold also played bad in the playoffs. Obviously, it's one playoff series, and it's his first real playoff series as a starter, to be really honest. So it's like kind of expected him to have a kind of an up and down kind of postseason, even if he made it farther.
Totally.
I just kind of get it. I kind of get it from the front office perspective of like, we drafted the guy 6, we redshirted him for the first year. We maybe could see him come in and play really well the second year after he had a redshirt year learning behind Darnold with Daniel Jones there for a little bit. But it just hasn't panned out. But Sam Darnold, I mean, man, he's proven them wrong for sure, though. I will say that. But I understand at the beginning of the year, I understand what they were thinking, though. I don't know why. Just kind of was like, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah, well, we'll go back to the Patriots, and we can caveat back to the Seahawks and talk about some things there because they're killing it in the NFC. But talk to me about the Patriots. Coach of the Year contender. Obviously, Drake May is performing at an MVP level. The defense has been unbelievable. I regrettably dropped the defensive special team on my fantasy after week 1, and I'm paying the price right now. So talk to me about the Patriots. Unreal. Back to not the Brady days, but to the success in those eras could be coming close by for them as well. Just a world-class organization, I think. Everyone knows who the Patriots are, obviously because of Tom Brady, but it's just great to see them back up there.
Drake May is having great game after great game after great game. I mean, his completion percentage is super high consistently every game. He's super smart with the ball. And sometimes you look at this and you're like, looks like Tom Brady. I swear, this guy's whipping the ball. He might not be throwing to the best receivers, but they got Stephon Diggs, maybe a little bit out of his prime, but still having a great season, solid season. And I think
No
Drake
Cardi
May
B curse.
has really proven himself this year.
I was a big fan of this team going into the year. I thought this team was going to come in. I thought their defense was going to be the catalyst. I didn't think Drake May was going to take the leap he did. So them being as good as they are is really because of Drake May more so than the defense and like the improvements they made there. So I was like slightly like, okay, like I like their team, but I didn't think Drake May was going to take this kind of a leap in the second year. I really thought maybe he was going to have still of a learning curve a little bit. The guy does everything. He could, like, similar to what I was saying to Daniel Jones before, but like to an excelled level and a more like kind of almost like a more perfect level. He makes the right reads so many times. He knows when to run the ball, when not to run it. He makes good audibles on the run. Like you talk about audibles, right? He adjusts mid-game so perfectly sometimes. Like he makes the defense get so confused. And that's why you see guys like Keyshawn Boutte. Like that guy has been unbelievable for them this year. And I thought he was like a 3rd level, 4th level receiver. And he's been like a top 2 receiver for them in their depth chart. And then you got, DeMario Douglas. You still have Diggs. They're a team that literally, and Trayvon Henderson has also come out of his shell a lot the last few games. They've really started to use him more, which I really like because he's talented, and I think he's a real piece for their offense. But Mike Vrabel was the biggest reason why I was also a supporter of this team. I thought Vrabel got completely screwed up in Tennessee. I thought the team was falling apart, and he was just trying to keep them together. And they blamed it. They fully scapegoated him, sent him home. And I was like, man, this guy is a good coach. Like, I wanted the Giants to hire him personally when he got let go. I remember I wanted the Giants to get him personally because I think he's just a great coach. You could just tell with the traits he possesses. Guys like him, Dan Campbell, like they're just such great guys to have in the locker room as leaders, not just as like even X and O's guys, but like as leaders of men and guys
motivational people. Yeah,
dude, they rally their troops up. Like there's a reason why those guys come in and play hard every game. Like the Patriots are not like an easy team to play against. Even I know they're 9-2, so it's like, oh yeah, obviously they're not an easy team, but like with the talent level they have, you would think they're more like a 7-5, 6-6 team. Like they wouldn't. They're realistically overperforming, but I think it's because they're playing to a high level. Their coach is coaching the hell out of them. They have a great quarterback now who's developed into it, and now he's literally, I think, the favorite for MVP this year if they keep this up. So he's literally the MVP favorite right now, betting odds, I would say. I don't know. This team just like I didn't think they'd be this good, but I definitely saw them being better than people might have thought originally going into the year. And Vrabel has proved me right. I think Vrabel's been unbelievable. Drake May, they have some good players. And I think the biggest thing is the sky's the limit for this team, man. Like, this is only the beginning. They're going to be a prime free agent destination for any player, top offensive player, like receivers, some defensive guys. If they need some help on the line or they need some help on the DB, like the top players are going to want to go here and play for this team, no doubt. So they've only not only for this year, but I think for the future, this season has just shown like the Patriots are like they're coming. Like they're gonna be a great team, even if they don't succeed, achieve like if they don't win a Super Bowl this year, it's not gonna be the end of the world. I think this is still a successful year for them so far.
And
Totally.
I
So
think
yeah,
I think we all know the obvious with this team with Travion Henderson not getting all the touches he deserves
Yeah.
for most of the season. And, the last 2-3 weeks, Ramondre Stevenson was out. So, Hendricks goes on to have beautiful games. He's breakaway, big runs. And Ramondre Stevenson comes back today and is getting a majority of goal line carries. And to me, it's just like, why? I think
Well, that's the only
next year,
question about it too. That's the only
I,
question I have.
I think next year, Trevion Henderson will officially get that RB1.
Yeah. I think for sure too, because I think Ramondre Stevenson's getting older. Like he's kind of like if you look at this season, he's getting very up and down too. I think it's just because I also feel like again, like the running back position is also such like nowadays you always have two running backs. Look at some of the better teams in the league. They have two good running backs that could
two
do different
combos.
things. And I guess they want to try to do that with Ramondre and Trayvon, but I think Ramondre's kind of getting older now. I would like to see them kind of pick up more, like if they could find like a power back guy like a David Montgomery, it could be like how the Lions have Gibbs and Montgomery together. Like if they could have like a Trayvon Henderson with another power back guy that could come in on the goal line and take away some of that goal line stress for him, that would be pretty damn elite for them. But again, I don't know. We got to see what happens. Like I just don't get the whole Ramondre Stevenson either. That's the only question I have about their team.
So talking on those two, obviously Contenders doing really well in the season. How realistic is it that they can potentially be a Super Bowl contender, especially given the fact that the Ravens, as bad as they started, they're top of their division, so you can't give them a full sniff. You've got TJ's overrated Buffalo Bills in that same division. If they're a wildcard team, they're a big chance. And now Kansas City have proven that they have a big still play to come, and they still have. Oh, they're still here. They're still here. They're still arrived. A lot of people are ruling them out, but if they can go and beat the Colts on their home floor, how can they not do it when the lights shine brighter? So that's my concern that I have for these two teams. So I'm here interested to see how you guys think it will go when it comes to the AFC, because I feel as though it is the most competitive there. Obviously, we will talk about the NFC next, but I think AFC is much more open at the moment.
Well, I think right now, you give me Colts versus Patriots. I don't know. I feel like I gotta
Neither.
take the Colts. I
That'd
gotta
be
take
such
the
a
Colts
fun
just
game, though. How
because
fun would that be?
it's
No,
potential, AFC
it comes down to
matchups that we can
mistakes.
see. It
It
really
comes down
is.
to the least mistakes, and I trust Drake May to make least mistakes. So I'd probably go Patriots in that one, even though I think it would be a very close game. It would just be crazy to see that defense try to stop Jonathan Taylor. That would be like probably the biggest matchup. Would be like, how do they slow down Jonathan Taylor? But I was gonna say, not to cut you guys off, but I still have to lean experience over like kind of the feel good story here. I feel like every year we always come in, we say, "Oh, this team is like the new up." Like last year, the Vikings, like, "Oh, they're 14-2. They play great. Like they have a lot of guys that we like." But they're not that like Stafford. You look at the Rams, right? When they play the Rams, Stafford has just been there. He's done it. And you can never bet against that. You can never just say, oh man, like this guy's gonna fall like guys like him, Josh Allen, who's been there now a couple years, Pat Mahomes. Those guys are just so hard to bet against because when the lights shine brightest, they are going to show up. They're gonna come and play their best football. They're gonna come in and say, hey, we might not be the regular season team you guys are, but when it comes to playoffs and it's one game elimination, you could best believe I'm coming in. I'm giving you 3 TDs, 300 yards. I'm throwing the ball. I'm running it. Like those guys are making those plays, man. And I don't know. I think again, like it's kind of hard. It's still hard to predict right now who I would take. I honestly think I would take the Chiefs just because I think they're starting to get in their own. Rashid Rice has been a revelation for them. He's been like their deadline pickup, honestly, since he came back from injuries. That would be kind of my that would be my pick right now. I just have a feeling the Chiefs are gonna go again. I don't know why.
Just so we're clear, it was an injury, right? I don't think he came back from injury.
What, you don't think he came back from an injury? Oh no, suspension.
Was
Sorry,
it suspension for like something crazy?
I forgot. Well, he was technically when he first to like last year, he was out. He was injured, so he was still recovering. But yeah, you're right. He did come off of a suspension. That's a good point.
Yeah, suspension.
But he's still.
What did he do?
I'm pretty sure I do something driving or something like that.
Yeah, maybe driving, maybe drunk driving or something like that. For all we know.
Yeah, something dumb. Yeah.
I'd never heard of this actually. I didn't think of it. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll continue on.
So I don't know. We'll see. That whole picture is the playoff picture is very weird. I mean, all right. There's a question for you guys. If you have the Ravens, the Lions, the Chiefs, the Bills, those four, who's the worst team out of those four?
Ravens, easy. Ravens are easily the
I
worst.
agree. Ravens and then probably Chiefs at the moment, but overall, I would say Lions when it comes to sort of that playoff stage.
Ravens don't scare me in one bit because their defense is still bad. I still don't think their defense is that good. And I think Lamar Jackson in playoff time has yet to prove he could beat a top quarterback and that he could beat his matchup, a top quarterback matchup. He can't beat Mahomes.
The Ravens just never rock up when it matters. So I can't trust them. I agree, Kenny. They never rock up.
Yeah.
Every time they verse the Bills, every time they verse the Chiefs, obviously those two are the ones that have gone head to head for the AFC for many years. They just never got over the hump. So I can't trust them. And this year, Zay Flowers has taken a bit of a regression. I just don't see it.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, the Ravens, like you said, they haven't proved nothing. And at the deadline, I thought they were going to get another weapon for Lamar, and they didn't. So I don't know.
Yeah, I also think the deadline was a little bit shaky for them because Lamar was injured and they had a couple kind of like they were already down in the season. I think they were like 3-5 at the time, 3-6 at the time or something. So it was like kind of like they're still kind of in a shaky start, right? They're just starting to bounce back now. So I don't know. I think their deadline was kind of shaking because, and also didn't they get Jair Alexander or something? Like that? They traded him and then he retired.
And he retired, yeah.
Yes, it's like
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that just shows but that just shows they had this guy. They fought for him when they traded him they got him from Green Bay. They signed him. I remember Lamar's vouching for him, and the guy wasn't invested in the game. Like he clearly wasn't. If you're thinking about retirement through the year, like if you retire midway through the season, it clearly means you were thinking about it, and that usually means you're not fully invested in the game.
I don't know how they don't pick that up before they get picked up in any sport. Like, player gets picked up, even like you look at Malcolm Brogdon for the Knicks. I know we're talking basketball. Like,
yeah.
How do you not know that a player is about to retire in that moment when you pick him up in your team? I think
it comes down to just guys just kind of under the pressure saying, you know what, like I feel like I could do it, and then when they actually go in and they try to play, they just start to realize that they're like, man, I don't feel like playing right now, and it's like Listen, I think if you were Jair Alexander, if you were feeling that way throughout the year, you were better off saying it before they got you because
100%.
now it's like you kind of like obviously when he got there, he underperformed massively, and everyone's like, "What's happened with this guy?" But then nobody understands the mental side of it, where it's like, "Oh, he was clearly not there mentally. He didn't want to play the game. Like he retired halfway through the year. He stepped away. Technically, he said he stepped away, but we all know like usually when you do that, it's hard to really bounce back after that and come back, especially at his age, at this point."
Totally.
So. Yeah, I don't know. I just think if just going back to the Ravens here, I agree with you, Dan. I don't think they show up when it matters most. Starts with the quarterback always with that stuff. I always feel like if your quarterback shows up, the rest of the team usually follows. And Lamar has yet to show me in a playoff series he could show up or on a playoff like event, like in the whole postseason, show up and be the best player on his team, and he has yet to do that in my opinion.
So I need definitive answers for both of you because both of you had the Ravens. We spoke about that at the first time we had this episode. Not sold on them. Does anyone still want to hold on their Ravens pick?
No,
Can you know, TJ?
Absolutely not.
I don't think so. I mean, okay. I think they squeeze into playoffs. I think they squeeze in.
They win their division. The Jets are in there, so they'll be fine. Anyway, what I want to know your AFC predictor. Who's taking out the AFC based on now? I've got mine. I'm holding out for you two. TJ, you can start.
Yeah, TJ, go ahead.
Based on everything right now, if the season was over right now, who would you take?
To win the AFC, give me the Chiefs. I think we're going to get like Chiefs. If I had to guess final two, give me Chiefs Patriots, which might be a first round. And give me the Chiefs. I don't know. I think the Chiefs, like it just Mahomes in playoffs is just a different breed. I really do. I think he's gonna keep going this year.
I also said the Chiefs. I just think they're slowly starting to get in their rhythm. If you watch them play now every week, they just get better and better. Like they start playing better. I know this week they had a little bit of a rocky start, but like them coming back down 20-9 in the fourth quarter, and then like they were down 20-9 and they ended up with 34 points. They go into the fourth quarter with 9 points and they end up with 34
against a very good Colts team too.
Yeah, against a very good Colts team. Like in one quarter, you put up a quarter in overtime, you put up 25 points, 24 points. Like that's insane, man. Like I can't rule them out. I would love to see Josh Allen and the Bills because I think Josh Allen's been due to beat him ever since that one game where they literally let their defense, the Bills defense, let up a 50-yard pass to Kelsey for a free field goal kick, and then overtime happened, and he didn't even get a chance to get the ball back. So it's like, I feel like he's been due since then. I would love to see it happen, but the way they look right now, it's kind of tough to pick them. But I got to go with the Chiefs right now. I just think they're the stronger team.
Give me the Bills, man. I'm riding with the Bills. I said it from the start. I'm going to finish with it, man.
I love it.
Josh Allen's my guy. Unbelievable. MVP. James Cook's playing at an elite level. Shakir's playing solid. They've got some nice, decent offensive weapons. Ideally, you'd want a world-class wide receiver, but Josh Allen makes anyone look good. So I'm going to get the Bills on this one. But from a neutral and an exciting perspective, I think we'd all want to see a Colts and Patriots AFC conference final. That would be elite. I think that would be a dream. It won't. I don't think it's going to happen because of just how the landscape of the AFC is and how good those teams are.
I want to mention one team that's coming though.
Broncos.
Not Broncos are a good pick.
We haven't even spoke about the bloody Broncos, and they come out and they win it. Could you imagine?
The problem is like similar to like a team like the biggest problem with me with them is Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix has been super inconsistent. He's been good, but he's been inconsistent as well.
Played such boring games this season as well.
Yeah, I just also think with the level of like I don't know, like Sean Payne offensively this year has been so uncreative. It's just been like same play after same play a lot of times, like, and guys are making plays. Like Cortland Sutton's a great player, and some of their other guys are stepping up too, like Tim Franklin. They have a couple other RJ Harvey's had some big games.
RJ Harvey's playing. He's RB1 now. No Dobbins for the rest of the season. So
he's been playing well. He's been playing well, and like, so I think about all that, and I'm like, yeah, they're a good team, and their defense is very good, obviously. But I just look at the quarterback, and I'm like, I don't know if I could trust this guy in a game against Pat Mahomes or Josh Allen. Even I don't even think I would take him against the Patriots because I don't think he'd outplay Drake May.
Crazy.
But I don't think I would.
Who's your surprise?
My pick, I was going to say right now, the team that's reeling right now, that's kind of on fire lately, and it's crazy with their backup quarterback playing, the Texans have been coming out, and they have been balling recently, bro.
Them helmets look real nice, though. Them helmets look nice.
Their jerseys, their helmets are
fire.
But I gotta admit, their defense has come. Their defense is easily a top 3 defense in the league. If they were a more competent offense with CJ Stroud under the center, they'd be a top contender for me too. Like they'd be.
I think statistically they are the number 1 defense right now. I mean, they're giving up the least points a game. Their defensive line looks phenomenal. I think they had 8 sacks against Josh Allen this past week. That's ridiculous.
8 sacks, dude. I mean. It's just like you're kind of watching them, and it's like I love the no die effort from them. Like they're not dying. Like they're like, okay, we were 3-6 when CJ Stroud went down. Easily could have said, all right, the season's over. We're just gonna pack it in and just play the season out. The defense came in there and made it a mission to say we're gonna carry this team back, even if our quarterback's not here and our quarterback's not playing well. We're gonna carry this team back. And Davis Sills has been good. He's actually been really good. Like he's been manning the offense so well. Like guys are getting touchdowns. I'm like, CJ, like, what's going on? Like, how is Davis Sills out playing you right now? Like, the offense just looks so clean with him. Like, guys are getting down the field. They're moving the ball. They're moving the chains. It's just a weird thing that's happening right now. I don't know if maybe this is something that CJ needed to see. So that's why, like, when he comes back, he is fired up a little bit and plays better. But that defense is real. Like, that defense I could trust in a playoff game to say they're going to lock up somebody. Like, I think they could be really good. But again, I'm not saying they're going to do anything crazy, but I think they're a sleeper team to be like an upset team. Like if you want to see a team that's going to upset a Broncos, a Colts, I could see the Texans being an upset team for sure.
100%. 100%.
They'd have to get past the Jaguars first. But I think the Jaguars are solid. But I think if they can get a wild card spot, I would see it, especially with their defense as well. Going back to CJ Stroud, I think he was just trying to be too much of a veteran in his sophomore year. Guy got to chill, especially with the Caleb Williams stuff, you know?
Oh,
I know
my
maybe
God.
that would humble him.
You're going to be a great
time.
player in this league. Dude,
but he's played two seasons and he's telling him he's going to be a great player. That's hilarious.
CJ went over his head off his first year. His first year was amazing. CJ was amazing his first year, but I feel like he went over his head, man. He went over his head, and I remember after like the first season ended for CJ, he was on podcasts. Like he was acting like he's the next one, you know?
Yeah,
he's the
Chandler Parsons podcast saying, yeah, I remember that. I do remember those days.
And I'm like, and it's only a rookie year. It's like, Jaden Daniels having that same reality check too.
No, but he's injured.
He's been injured.
Different.
No, he's been injured.
Yeah.
I will say though, I mean, I still didn't like when he was healthy. I didn't like what I was seeing from him either. Like I felt like he wasn't as elusive, and that could be just
hard to judge him. I think I think it's hard to judge Jalen Daniels,
Yeah.
especially with his
that's
injury.
fair.
And I think the team's
That's
been a
fair.
bit of
But
a mess.
he's another guy I could see like saying, okay, like maybe he got ahead of himself. He had a great rookie year, but don't
Maybe.
let that stop you from getting better and like being like be humble. Like you're still only a rookie or second year player. Like you got a lot to prove. You haven't even like he hasn't done anything in the playoffs to even say like, oh, you're gonna be a great player in this league. Like Caleb Williams is about to be in the playoffs. He's about to be.
Yeah,
He's
we'll be
not even
talking
a
about
playoff
them.
spot.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
We got time for the Bears soon. But yeah,
Yeah.
TJ, you were
Before
telling me.
before we
ahead.
jump to the NFC, I just want to say one name because he deserves to have his name brought up. Myles Garrett. I know that the Browns are 3-8, but he's having
Can
another
we free that guy?
career year.
Free Myles Garrett, man. Free that guy.
Myles Garrett is a he's a guy that you could put on a like let's say you put him on the Chiefs or you put him on like another top team. He's a guy that would wreak havoc for one of those rosters and make them so much better. Like he's a game changer for your defense. The Browns defense this year has been good slowly because of his pressure he puts on the QB.
How's he still there?
I think it's just the money, and I think it's just again like I also think like I think it just comes down to like the team not really being willing to offer anything for him unless he asks out. Like he asked out, then he got paid and he was like, I'm good. But if he had actually like formally kept that request in, you better believe teams would have been calling for. The type of package you saw for Sauce. Imagine the type of package you get for Myles Garrett.
I'd pay it. That's worth it.
Yeah,
like Coles went and got that.
I thought he was worth like 2 to 3 first, but now it's like okay. Sauce Gardner got you 2. Obviously, Sauce is a good player, but like Myles Garrett's a game changer, like game changing guy.
Does this change like that Sauce trade? Going back to it, does it change the landscape of how NFL trades go with picks now?
I think
I
it might.
I feel like
depends on the result.
Such like a weird.
It depends on the result.
Like, are we going into the NBA? Are we going to NBA realm now with these like pick trades? Hopefully not.
I don't think so. I don't think so yet, but it depends on the results. Like if the Colts come out and like if they set an example, let's say they do that and they win let's say they win the Super Bowl. I think yes, then it will set a precedent. Like, look, we're close. We could go all in for this guy, and then we could take it over the top and become the team to win the Super Bowl this year. So teams will look at that and be like, that's a good formula. But if it doesn't work out, let's say Sauce isn't playing well, the team falls apart, they don't end up playing well in the next few years, it's gonna look like a disaster trade, and everyone's gonna be like, all right, we know not to do that ever because clearly, even if you have you do that, you think you have a great team and
doesn't necessarily equate to winning. Totally.
Yeah.
Well, Myles Garrett is a lock for Defensive Player of the Year, I think, from what I've been seeing on the bookies. Just wanted to take a moment to thank you guys for tuning into another episode of the Huddle Within podcast. If you do enjoy episodes like this, or this episode specifically, be sure to leave a comment and a 5-star review wherever you do get your podcasts. It'd be also great if you could like and subscribe wherever you do get your podcasts, so we can continue to show this out to people that see sports exactly the way that you do. But without further ado, let's get straight back into it. But yeah, we'll move on to the NFC. So great little segue into that. Much more, I guess, competitive in terms of a lot of teams with high records, just showing that there's some very terrible NFC teams as well. Giants, I'm sorry, Kenny. My Saints as well. Titans. Oh, they're in the AFC. Apologies. The Cardinals also in a division where it's quite tough. The NFC West and the NFC North are very competitive at the moment. Who would have thought the Bears would be top of the NFC North based on what we saw last season? And we might not see the Lions in the playoffs or even get a wild card spot. The Packers are there killing it. We spoke about the Bears. And then you've got the West where the Rams and the Seahawks are battling out for that number 1 NFC spot. And then one's going to be a wild card team. And then you've got the 49ers that are just roaming around the background there, doing their thing too. So quite competitive. But one team I do want to talk about is the freaking Panthers, man. Unreal. 6-5. Who would have thought? Second in NFC South, can potentially take out the worst conference, I think, in NFL, in my opinion, is the NFC South. Could you imagine that? Let's just be crazy. I don't know.
They're the biggest surprise team for me this year, I think, in terms of just like what I expected.
We're the Panthers. We're the normal Panthers now. We've changed from the New Orleans Saints to the New Orleans Panthers. The way we've been playing.
I really thought they were gonna come in and just be like similar to how like some of these other like the Giants, like you said, the Saints, like just be like maybe show flashes of something. I think Bryce Young has been really good this year. I think he's taken a good step into being a good quarterback. Like compared last year, he was on the verge of being like a guy they were going to cut. Like he was so bad last year and he had some really bad games where it's like, is this guy even an NFL level quarterback right now? And he has turned that narrative completely around into being like a guy that you're going to consider as an all-pro potentially this year because of how he's played and what he's done for that team. Like, the team is nowhere near as talented as any other roster in the NFL, and they are somehow finding ways to win games. Coaching staff plays a role too. Their coaching staff's done a phenomenal job. If they keep this up, they might be in the running for coaching, like the coaching staff of the year, coach of the year. Like, their coach might be in there because no one expected this. Everyone probably expected 2 wins, 3 wins. That was literally the over-under was 2.5 wins. I believe that was the over-under for the Panthers this year. They are slamming that, and it's still going. I think they have some games, some favorable matchups coming up. They could still win.
Like,
Well,
beat the Saints. I do like
Yeah.
Dodo, and I do like what's the McMillan. I think they're great players.
yeah.
Think
To
about
be
it
fair,
like this.
young
What if
players.
they didn't have Dalton have to sub? And Andy Dalton was horrible for them, by the way. He ruined a couple of their success a little bit midway because Bryce Young was out. He came in and kind of did some. He was bad. He was like one of the worst. Again, similar to Jake Browning, one of the worst quarterback plays I've ever seen in like a season.
I've seen him at the Saints. He
But
wasn't good
Bryce
either.
Young, if he was playing those games, I guarantee some of them probably go a little differently because you have your leader there. You kind of have the guy manning the back. I don't know, man. I think that team had some potential wins that were missing just because of some injuries, and now they're kind of reeling, bro. They're looking pretty good. They look like a really good team overall. I like the way their team is like just playing.
I think that's a team where they draft a wide receiver because their defense has been solid. You draft a wide receiver, and the only really problem is your running back room because you paid Chuba Hubbard all this money in the offseason, and now Rico Dowdle has been looking great.
What a player! It's been unreal.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that's one of those things where what's gonna happen? Are they gonna keep Chuba and Dowdle go somewhere else, or you're gonna do that like Kenny said before, that elusive back, power back. I don't know which route they're gonna go, but their future is pretty bright with Bryce Young, especially first few years in the league. He did not look much of a superstar, but he's starting to pick it up now.
He didn't look like anywhere close to a starter level quarterback his first year. I remember his
He
first
was
year,
fucking-
everyone was like, he's too short to play the position. He looks lost. Everything was going wrong for him. And now it's like, again, like he just made a complete 360, 180, whatever you want to call it, on his 180 on his career. Like, he looks unbelievable right now. I'm
love
not
that.
saying unbelievable, but like I think better than what I would have thought he was going to look this year. So
And I'm now looking really keen for tomorrow's Monday Night Football for you guys when they take on the 49ers. I think that's going to be a really big game. And I think if they take that, you can make an argument that they could take out the NFC, which is quite crazy. But we'll move on to that division of the 49ers. The 49ers must win tomorrow to be in the realms for a potential NFC West division win, which is probably going to be really hard because you've got, and Kenny, going back to your MVP odds, the MVP favorite in Australia right now is Matthew Stafford. So he's running the Rams really well. They got a massive win last week against the Seahawks, who I think were extremely unlucky. But on their side, we've talked about Darnold, but we need to talk about that boy, Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is giving TJ lots of beautiful performances for him to get up on fantasy right now. I think he's been the best wide receiver. And then the second best, barring all the injuries, in my opinion, has been Puka. You can make a case for someone else, but I think they're keys to why they're where they are, and obviously Stafford being Stafford and Sam Darnold being Sam Darnold. So talk to me about these two teams, and can the 49ers, if they get a win tomorrow, can they compete? Can this be a bit of a three-way race to the NFC West?
I'm not going to lie. I'm not a big fan of the 49ers right now. I just think I think they have some injuries in their defense that are kind of hurting them right now a little bit. Like Nick Bosa's been out, right? And I think also like they have some other guys I think that are out. I also think Brock Purdy being out, like, and he's coming back now. I know he's playing now, but like him being out for so long kind of threw their team out of flow a little bit. I think they'll play well. I think tomorrow's a very winnable game. We just talked about the Panthers being good, but 49ers are a different team in terms of talent wise. They should be able to beat them in terms of just talent on talent. Like, you should be able to beat the Panthers, but again, we know like that's not always the case in the NFL. Like, the best team doesn't always win, so it's imperative for them to win. But I really like the Rams and Seahawks. I personally think the Rams are the best of the three, just because, again, Stafford, come playoff time, was the only guy that came close to being the Eagles last year. Look at the Eagles' run last year in the playoffs. The only guy, if it wasn't snowing, this guy was going to probably make a run for a Super Bowl in that last year. And I think he has a chance to go for a run this year. I personally think they're the favorite to come out of the NFC right now. I would put them as the number one team in the conference. I would rank them higher than everybody. And even the Eagles, I think they played better. They look more consistent. They have guys I could trust in the receiving core because their quarterback's passing them the ball. Like, you know what I mean? Like Stafford's getting the ball to Puka and Davante compared to like Jalen Hurts, who's not even getting the ball to his best player. You had AJ Brown come out and tell his fantasy owners to bench him because he's not getting the ball. So it's like, I don't know. I just like their team, and their defense has been unbelievable. I think the Rams defense has been so good to watch too. They have some really talented young guys on their team. They got that corner, I believe. What's his name? He was on some team last year. I think he was on the Commanders last year, and he was like not good. I forgot his name though. The corner, he's really good this year. He's like one of the top corners in the league this year.
You search it
But
up.
yeah, look it up because I forgot his name. But like I heard about this recently. That's why I'm like blanking out. I didn't know about this till now. Last year, this guy was one of the worst corners in the NFL. And this year, I think he came to the Rams and he's been like one of the best corners in football. And like it's kind of insane, like having a guy like that now on your team, like he's just balling out, like it's kind of crazy. So it's like they have some feel good stories, they have some good young talent, they have great offensive weapons, they have good quarterbacks. Like it's kind of been nuts. They have a good quarterback, Stafford. I love Stafford, so I would rank them higher. But Jackson the Jiggler, man, that guy's been unbelievable. TJ got so lucky. What a guy! What a guy!
Well, I feel like you look at these three teams, right? Biggest story coming out of San Francisco right now is the whole Brandon Ayuk situation. I don't know if you guys saw that, where he just got paid and now they plan on splitting ways. So
that guy.
I don't know where Ayuk's gonna go because he's a great wide receiver. Purdy, he doesn't have a Deebo Samuel no more. So I don't know what's going on back there. But
Got
then you go
Kittle
to the
and they've
Rams.
got my boy CMC. And their run game has been pretty good. That's why they're probably where they are.
Christian McCaffrey, when healthy, is the best running back in the league. I mean,
He's unbelievable.
He is ridiculous.
Me getting him at 12 was a steal, I have to say, on my fantasy.
Absolutely.
Steal.
Yeah,
almost as bad as Jonathan Taylor.
Dude,
and then
I wanted him to so bad. I was debating him, but I just couldn't do it. I had him last year. He was injured. I was like, I can't risk it, man.
Yeah, no.
That's how I feel about George Pickens, but that's another conversation.
Yeah. Hey, he's balling out this year. Anyway,
what a player! I love that guy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry whatever I said.
So now we go to the Rams, and they look great. I don't know if you guys remember in the first podcast that we did. Like
Emmanuel Forbes was the guy, by the way. I'm pretty sure. He's who you're talking about, Kenny.
Yeah, that's who you're talking about.
Anyway, go on, TJ.
But I don't know. In the first podcast, like I said, I assumed that Devontae Adams was going to have more touchdowns, but Puka was going to have the yards. I'm not sure if Puka has more yards than him because I know he was out a few games with injury.
I think he's still done.
But I mean, that 1-2 punch is ridiculous. Kyron Williams, he's been great. Blake Corum, I thought was going to get a little bit more touches, but it's all right. You know, he's still a young guy. And then you go to Seattle, double Jeff Smith-Njigba. It's not that hard. This man, whenever he's one-on-one downfield, Donald just throws it up. And I don't blame him because every time he's just way quicker than the corner or the safety, burning them. I mean, he's making ridiculous over-the-shoulder catches. I don't know how hard it is to just double somebody.
I also think Darnold's making some unbelievable passes to him, though. Like on certain situations, you see like he puts the ball in such a perfect spot for him just to get a nice couple extra yards, or like even to get a breakaway for a touchdown, or even when he's going to the end zone. Like I feel like Darnold has been so good this year. I have to admit, like he had one really bad game where he threw like 3 or 4 picks like not that long ago, and I was like, wow, that's a bad game. But like he didn't like sit there and just fault under that like one bad game. Like he bounced back. He threw 2 touchdowns the next game to Jackson and Jigba. They all rallied back behind him, and he's revived his career. Like the Vikings really like his Vikings thing revived his career. He got paid, and not only did he get paid, he's earning his money. He is earning his money with that team.
He's a staple quarterback, I think, in my opinion, and I think that the Vikings made a terrible mistake to get Leggett and go.
He's a perfect guy. You could say he's borderline top 10, definitely top 15, and he's like consistently there. Like you're not gonna put him top 5 above guys like Mahomes. You know, even a guy like I don't know, obviously not Josh Allen. Even a guy like Lamar Jackson. Obviously, I think he's been playing better than Lamar this year, but I wouldn't put him over Lamar because Lamar's just an MVP player. He's great.
Yeah.
Come playoff time, I have to see it first. That's the biggest thing. If he comes playoff time, he shows up. That's where I think he'll really prove that he made his money, you know?
Totally. TJ, going back to the Rams.
That playoff picture is going to be ridiculous. I mean, there's a chance that he's going to play the Dallas Cowboys or maybe even the Green Bay Packers because the Bears might win that division. Like, we are going to get some crazy first-round matchups this year.
before we go, you were right on the money with Puka with the yards, more yards than Devontae Adams, but Devontae Adams with 10 touchdowns as opposed to 4 from Puka.
Yeah.
Puka hitting about 850 yards, Devontae Adams around 569 at the moment. Great take there. Just closing my thoughts before we go on to the NFC North and talk about those teams as well. I really do like the Rams coming out of this conference, but I think when you have Jackson Smith-Njigba doing what he's doing, you kind of want to support that and root for that. So I'm actually really hoping that the Seahawks actually get out based on that, and also because of Sam Darnold. I think I like the storyline aspect a lot more for the Seahawks rather than the Rams that are a bit more staple, and everyone knows who the Rams are. I think even if they got a wild card spot, they'll make some noise. But it's just if I see the Seahawks just performing, I just go and think how the Vikings made a mistake in letting Sam Darnold go, and how Jackson Smith-Njigba is just playing out of his mind at the moment. It just shows how important having weapons like him, and even you look at the Colts, players like Jonathan Taylor, who are just really nice surprises. It just helps the storyline more. But as you said, the NFC North. So you're talking about, obviously, the Bears, unbelievable. The Packers could get a wild card spot. So then what happens to the Lions? Like, come on now. Like, it's a crazy division. Like, the Lions 7-4, they look like they were about to really lose to the Giants. Still got time for the Giants. Don't worry, we'll get there. They get a win. They stay competitive, and anyone can win this division. The Bears are the biggest surprise, so you know. Caleb Williams is performing great, and he's not falling to the sophomore slumps that his other predecessors have got. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's break it down for me. What's happening in this conference? Because it's unreal.
I mean, I think this is the most insane division right now, just because the Bears have showed up. Like, yeah, it's all right. I was gonna say, like, I honestly think the Bears have given me the most confidence, just because I think I actually trust their coaching staff more than, other than Dan Campbell, of course. I would rank them Bears, or I would actually, man, it's tough. I would probably
still have the Bears third, by the way.
I would still have.
Sounds crazy.
No, I actually have Packers third, because I think the way their defense looks has been so bad. Like, they're such an, I mean, I'm not saying bad, but like,
trust their offense more than the Bears.
After Micah Parsons came in, I was like, man, they're gonna lock up everybody. Like, they got the guy to go in the quarter, get after the quarterback, and like, they haven't been that great at QB. Their QB pressures have been like good, but they haven't been like at an elite level where you think like Micah Parsons adds to that roster. Like, wow, they're gonna get to the QB a lot more. They haven't even been in the top 5, I think, in pressuring the QB this year. And that's a big miss for me, in my opinion, when you trade what you traded for a guay like Micah Parsons, which is, again, worth it. I'm not saying it's a bad trade. It's a good trade, obviously.
He's been playing well, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
I will say Jordan Love has kind of looked a little iffy this year, and I will also admit they have Josh Jacobs obviously got injured this recently. He's going to be back probably next week, most likely, maybe. I also think the receivers is the biggest disappointment on this team. I thought Matthew Golden was going to come and be a stud for them. I think Dobbs has been good, but he's not an elite receiver. And I think Jaden Reed's been injured majority of the year as well. Like, I think
and you can't forget about Kraft that got injured.
Kraft got Tucker Kraft was a huge loss. Huge loss. Tucker Kraft was a huge loss.
A big loss.
That was a huge loss. So that's a good point. That was a good
When's
call.
He back? Well, how long is he out for?
No, he tore his ACL, I believe.
He's done for the year.
Oh, damn. That's huge. Yeah. Okay.
That's a great point. So yeah, Tucker Kraft out, and they don't have a definite number one receiver or guy that Tucker Kraft was probably their number one guy before he went out, but now he's out. They have Musgrave there, who's kind of just like a serviceable backup. I don't know, man. The problem, you're right. The offense is probably more of a problem than their defense, but their defense needs to carry them at this time, and I expect them to be putting up I expected this defense to be producing at a high level, like a much higher level than what they're producing at right now. But I get it. Like, the offense isn't great. It's tough to ask a defense to just keep like doing the same thing, like keep pushing through, like, and carrying the team over. But I like the Lions better than them, and I even like the Bears better than them. I just think Ben Johnson came in and really unlocked this team in a way where I didn't even think was possible. But he came in, and this offense has looked unbelievably good for the Bears. I mean, some games are probably off and off depending on Caleb, because he's not like a top 5 quarterback right now. He's playing well, but he's not an elite QB yet. But he has played pretty damn good this year compared to what I thought he was. Because last year he was not as great, and I was like, man, I don't know. So I would probably put like Lions, Bears, because I still got to give that coaching staff and that team just the respect, man. Like, I think they're gonna make it. I know if they don't make it, it'd be the biggest shock of the season. That would be by the biggest shock in the entire year. The Lions don't make the playoffs.
Fans would be so depressed, yeah.
It'd be crazy. crazy. So that would be my hot take, I guess, if the
My
Lions don't
my
make
list
it.
is the exact same. I mean, Lions number one, just because the weapons there, solid defense, great coaching staff. Then you
What a
look at
game from
Chicago.
Gibbs. Over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just incredible.
Gibbs is crazy.
Incredible. Like we talk
Yeah,
about
Gibbs-
top running backs, we talk about Taylor, we talk about McCaffrey, but man, got to give credits to freaking Gibbs. What a player as well. He's done it for so many years.
There is
too.
a part of me. There is a part of me that wishes we could see Gibbs without Dave Montgomery, because I just imagine if Gibbs went from, 60 to 65% of carries to the 80 or 85 that we see from all these, high, like Jonathan
But
Taylor.
I think that's
or
you make a good case, but I think that's what makes it special too, though. I think that's what really helps Gibbs as well, like the run relief and also the amount of hits he takes and just the less sort of load that he has as well. So I think it's a double-sided coin for me.
Yeah. And then you look at Chicago and, DeAndre Swift, he's getting older. The new guy, Mon he looks pretty solid. But you look at the receivers, Dunze and DJ Moore. They've been great this year, And
DJ Moore just
even,
had DJ Moore just
DJ
had
Moore is not doing enough for me. He played good today, but he's not doing enough for me. I'm not happy with him.
No. Fantasy-wise, no. But
Who wants him? Who wants him? No, I know. As a player, has been fantasy. Obviously, doesn't tell the full tale.
But
and Loveland, great tight end. They drafted him top 10, top 12, something like that. Which that's who I wanted the Jets to get. Him and Tyler Warren. I wanted a tight end this year. I wanted one of those. Last year I wanted Bowers. I don't know why I've wanted the Jets to get a solid tight end.
Mason is looking good for you guys, though, to be fair. Mason Taylor does look really good for you guys, to be honest. If he had a good quarterback, I think he'd be showing out a lot more, to be fair. Just to be fair to the Jets tight end there, I think you got a stud there right now, actually, believe it or not. But continue on with your point with that, because I just had to intervene. I will not allow any Mason Taylor slander on this podcast.
I don't know. That's a whole different story when it comes to Jets. But Loveland looks great. He's another one. So
He's something pretty well for Cole. Like I early on in the year I had him on my bench as a tight end, and now I think he's still in the waivers right now. But I had him on my bench. I thought he was going to come in right away, but they ended up giving Cole Kmet the start from the season, and honestly, respectfully so. Like Cole Kmet's been a reliable tight end for them, but Colson Loveland has shown he has some real upside as a top tight end in this league potentially, like being a really good tight end producer. Like, I'm excited for him going forward. I think with that offense, he could be like kind of what Laporta is for the Lions. If you really think about Ben Johnson's offense, he could really be like the next kind of like Laporta for whatever Caleb Williams wants, like his version of Laporta, So
yeah, which Laporta is another one that we didn't speak about, but towards the ACL. So how's he going to come back next year? Is going to be very interesting to see.
I forgot about that. I honestly totally forgot, man. Wow. Yeah, some of the top tight ends are going down, man. This is crazy, bro.
Yeah, it is wild.
And then,
Go ahead.
And then you got the Packers. That's the only one I didn't talk about. Packers. I mean, they got to stop with the few targets for you, few targets for you, few targets for you. Get your number one receiver, Matthew Golden, which was supposed to be number one. Get him the damn ball 10 to 12 times a game. Stop with the 4 to Dobbs, 4 to him, 4 to Musgrave, 4 to the other wide receiver. I forget his name, but just too many.
4 to the guy on the street.
Matt LaFleur, that's the Matt LaFleur special right there, man. I've had a problem with him as a coach there for a while now. I just don't think you can win with him as your head coach. I'm fully on board with that, to be honest, still. I just don't think he coaches well enough to get you over the top, even if it's a talented roster. Look at the Aaron Rodgers days. He had Devontae Adams and other guys, and you still found who's the guy that used to be like Aaron Rodgers' like go-to guy like for like years, and then they brought him back at the tail end of his time with the Packers, and he ended up surpassing Devontae Adams in certain games for yards and catches and targets. Forgot his name, man. He was an old timer.
I'm a newcomer, so don't ask me. I'm still a casual in this sport.
Well, TJ, do you remember was he
more of a deep bomb guy?
Yeah, like a deep bomb guy. It could have been, dude. I don't know. He used to be the number one way before even Devontae Adams' time, but I forgot his name. I'll look it up and I'll bring it up because they brought him in. He was a vet, like a pure vet. Don't get me wrong, he's solid, but bro, they were getting him more touches or the same amount of touches as Devontae Adams at some points when Aaron Rodgers was there, and I was like, what are you doing as a coach? Like, let him get the ball to Devontae Adams every time down. No one's stopping the guy.
Yeah, and honestly, for the viewers listening, if you have never seen Devontae Adams in his younger years with Aaron Rodgers, go watch a little highlight reel on YouTube or something.
Even I've seen that stuff.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, that
So that's a
was
highlight tape. That's a highlight tape worth watching right there for sure. Because that was some of the best chemistry a QB and receiver have had in like even recent
Totally.
history.
Yeah.
It's been like that. They were just so connected with each other. It was unbelievable. So
Well, then
I mean, even so with the Jets last year, they were the best tandem last year for them too. Like obviously Garrett Wilson was on the team, but Devontae Adams was clearly the best connection with Rodgers last year, and it was showing. He was getting a lot of red zone touches, a lot of scores, a lot of yards. Same thing there, man. It's just crazy. But I don't know, man. The Packers are a lost cause. They gotta figure it out with their offense because the defense is good. Like I said, they didn't play great this year so far, but they're still a good defense. So
yeah.
You're talking
So,
about
fun
them
fact.
like they're 7-3. Like it's not that bad.
no, I know.
You know,
I'm more so like
amidst all this, they are still 7-3. That's all I'll say.
yeah, like listen, compared to where we were ranking them, like we were saying these guys are the guys coming out of the NFC, no problem. We were saying these are the guys that are going to beat the Eagles.
They
These are the
still
guys
have
that are
a
going to
chance
beat the
though. They're still in it. There's not.
There's still a chance, but like remember how we were definitive. Like I remember saying like, oh, these guys are going to be
I
in
was
the
not
NFC.
definitive.
I was
Eagles are there.
I'll be honest. I thought we were very definitive in saying, okay, it's gonna be Packers Lions in the conference championship in the NFC. We all believed that was gonna probably be the conference championship, or at least
I was leaning Lions and Philly, but I'll play this. I'll play this argument with you.
really. I thought you said Packers with us. But
Nah,
maybe
I was not.
All right.
I was not fully
No,
sold
I
on the
won't put
Packers.
words in your mouth. I'm saying for myself though. I feel like and a lot of the media too. We looked at the media. A lot of them had Packers moved up in the Super Bowl like odds to make the
That's
Super Bowl,
crazy.
win the Super Bowl. They jumped up almost to like top 3 in everybody's odds, and it's like, come on, man. Like
That's
now
a bit
you're not
wild
looking at.
though. They're going back to history books because it's a class organization. I think there's a bit of bias there. But we'll move on. I think. Oh, but before we do, actually, so you're both sold on Bears and Lions to get out of the NFC North.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I am.
Yeah.
I think I am.
Oh, I'm gonna do Lions and Packers. If I see the Bears there, I'll be happy. But I'm just gonna go with I think them figuring it out towards the end.
It could really go either way. I just don't see. I would be shocked the Lions miss. That's all it is.
Like regardless of what happens, shout out to the Bears because no one would have thought that they would be first on the NFC North on week 12 at the moment. They thought they would have been dead bottom. We thought the Vikings would have done a lot better than what they've done and what they're doing. It is disappointing to see because I really did like the Vikings last season. I think they made some really good strides. But yeah, once you lose your quarterback, you don't believe in him. You bring in a rookie or a sophomore now to sort of take your team. You can't trust that it'll be the same, I don't think. But we'll move on. We're going to skip again the NFC North South because it's a rubbish division. We spoke about the Panthers. The Bucks will probably take it out somehow because they're just the Bucks, and that division is just woeful. And it doesn't help when your team is the worst in it. It just makes it a lot more worse. That's why I think we are probably the worst team in the NFL. I may not look like it is the case, but I think based on our division and how many times we play the teams we do, and the fact that we're still at the bottom is just disgusting. But we'll go to the NFC East. We'll talk about the Giants first as Kenny gets his face over his head before we talk about the real competitors, the Cowboys being one after that crazy comeback. The Commanders, injury prone, very sad story at the moment. We really hoped that they were going to be big players, but it's not panning out for them. But the Giants, 2-10, and I love this team. I'm not going to lie. I think they're like my second favorite team, if I'm honest, just because of the content and Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterby and even Malik Neighbors I was a big fan of. The defense has got passion. Like, it seems like a nice oriented team without the coach, of course. Good culture, good vibes, but they just can't get any luck and they can't win games. But Kenny, you talk about it because it's your team.
My biggest gripe with the team is the management. The way the front office has been run has been like kind of like a laughing stock, I think, in my opinion. I'm gonna just say it flat out. They're a laughing stock organization right now by wide margins. I do not like Shane, the GM. I think he should go. I think he's made some decent moves, but a lot of the moves he's made have also costed them a lot of money. And to pay the amount of money they're paying, for example, their defense is paid as a top 2 defense in the NFL. Like they're paid as if they're the second top. Like they're the top. They're paying like $150 million just to defensive players, and the results aren't showing. They have some great defensive talent, but it's not showing out. And Brian Burns has been unbelievable. I love Brian Burns. He's been one of the only players I think I've really appreciated and watched this year. I'm gonna go off on Abdul Carter. I think the guy is kind of like he's like too much. He's too full of himself. I think he's too full of himself. I think that you're missing meetings, you're sleeping in meetings when you're not even getting a sack. You haven't had a sack in God knows how long. and you're acting as if like you're the next Lawrence Taylor, the next Micah Parsons. Like, settle down and actually do something before you start to preach like, oh, I'm the next Lawrence Taylor. Like, this whole thing going into the year was, oh, I'm calling LT for his number. I want LT's number. Well, if you're going to want LT's number, you got to show up and play like it. You haven't earned that yet. And even from then, it kind of was like, ah, man, like, I don't like that. Like, I don't like that. I think it's not, I don't think that's the right move, is to go after LT or to go after a guy like who's been the best player in our franchise history, arguably, with how great of a player he was. And the coaching, Dable, I felt like got scapegoated. But he was not a great coach, so I'm okay with him going. But why the hell is Bowen still the defensive coordinator on this team? He should have been gone with Dable. If you're gonna get rid of Dable, okay, Kafka could stay. Fine, Kafka hasn't been doing a bad job. Get rid of the damn defensive coordinator. What are you doing? The guy is you have so much talent on that defense, and they're ranking almost bottom of every statistical category, dude. Get him out of there. He's proven nowhere he could be a good defensive coordinator, by the way. He has never been a top 10, 15 defense as long as he's been a defensive coordinator anywhere he's been. Get rid of him. I think Shane's got to go too. He's lousy at this point. You might as well clean house. I don't want him making decisions going forward. With that said, the only thing I like about this team is some of the talent. Dart, I will admit, was a great pickup. Dart has been on a revelation for this team. He's been unbelievable. Easily been like the brightest spot of our team, and he's the reason why I think any Giants fan has hope right now, is that you have a competent to elite quarterback to go fall back on going forward if you continue to progress him and develop him right. Scott injured his leg pretty bad, but he'll be back, I think, next year, and or maybe not even next year, maybe the year after, honestly. But at least if he comes back healthy, I'll be
next year.
Yeah, and then next year, like, I think as long as he comes back healthy, Scat, I'm okay with it. And Neighbors,
we're missing Scat big time, but he's doing some hella side quests at the moment.
Yeah, he is. It's fun. He's an entertaining guy, and Neighbors is Neighbors. He's unbelievable, but he blew his knee out, so it's like kind of like now that's a damper. So the team right now, I'll be honest, as a Giants fan, the only thing giving me hope is Jackson Dart, because everything else around them right now, it's screaming for me to just get rid of Dexter Lawrence. You got to trade Brian Burns while you still has that value, and he's still producing at a high level. You can get some compensation for him. Hope to God Abdul Carter comes in and gets a sack at some point this year. And even some of the other guys, like Thibodeau, hasn't been all that great. The DBs have been getting cooked all year long. Like, none of their DBs have played up to their level. At Debo, the guy they got from the Saints, he's been their best one, but he hasn't been, like, he's only one guy. He can only do so much. I could go on and on. I don't want to keep yapping about them. They're just a moribund franchise. They got so much to change, and it starts at the top, man. That's all I'll say.
All right, Kenny, I got one question for you. This upcoming draft, what are we doing?
To be honest with you, I really don't know. Because I obviously you don't need a quarterback. The problem is that your top receiver and your running back that you drafted a great running back. He's injured now, but you still have some other guys you could kind of serviceably find a decent running back to replace him. I think they need a receiver or a tight end.
Get the lemon.
Yeah, I think they need another guy, because if Neighbors isn't going to be 100% healthy, I think the tight end position is so important in the NFL. Like, if you have a good tight end, it really does make a difference, personally. And I think they have some decent to serviceable tight ends. I think Theo Johnson showed he could be decent, but I think he's more of a backup guy. If they could have like a Tyler Warren, a Kittle, one of those like elite level guys that they could come in at the tight end spot and make plays, it opens up the offense so much for Dart. And it opens up the offense for the other guys as well. But they definitely need some weapons offensively. And most certainly the DBs, like the secondary, they could use a lot of secondary help too. So anywhere in those lines, I would target personally. Again, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start because everyone is underperforming but the quarterback right now. So that would be my personal opinion.
So Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon I'm looking at the mock draft right now. I know nothing about him, but he's the number 1 tight end coming out of this.
I have to do more research as we get. I usually don't do much research on college until like after the season, honestly, because it's not like college basketball where I keep up with
the lemon. That's all you got to know. Get the lemon. Yeah. Makai Lemon.
Give me Makai Lemon, and then we'll run with that. That would be a good pick. But yeah, I don't know. We got to see what they do. They're a moribund franchise, man. Moribund franchise. Laughing stock.
We'll move on. Just quickly on the Eagles. Obviously, Super Bowl champs. How are they going to go?
TJ, you go first on this one. I'll let you go.
Great defense. Defense has been what's been winning them the games, if we're being honest. A.J. Brown, I think it's time to go. Not to any other team. I think it's time to retire. You look absolutely horrible. He looks horrible. I mean, he's not even getting targets. It's so bad.
I don't think
Devontae
he's
Smith,
interested. He's just disinterested. That's what it comes
yeah,
to.
like I don't know. I mean, he's been in the league long enough. Devontae Smith been solid. And I mean, Goddard, he's all right. But I think the biggest story is Saquon Barkley. Saquon, I pretty sure has like 5 or 6 touchdowns. I'm pretty sure Saquon is extremely low when it comes to touchdowns and just performing. Like today, I don't know if you guys watched the game. He lost them the game. They had the ball. They were going for field goal to win the game, and he fumbled. So I don't know. Just very weird. Very defensive team.
I also think that's questionable play calling. They could have just. I feel like at that point you could just pull a knee out and just take the field goal at that point. You maybe lose a few yards. You have you're in field goal range. Take the field goal. Take the knee. Why even risk running the ball when you know there's a chance a guy could fumble? I don't know. This team just gives me vibes of like they're talented. Like they could just come into the playoffs and maybe out talent the rest of the league. I just think they're so disconnected as a roster. I just think their team, like Jalen Hurts, isn't on the same page as with any of his guys. I feel like he's just disconnected. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I just think clearly the talent isn't connecting together. Like AJ Brown right now, which is crazy to say as a team coming back as Super Bowl champions, to not be connected is wild. But they're not connected as a team. Like AJ Brown's not connecting with him. Even Devontae's having an up and down year, but he's been playing better. He's been getting more touches recently. You kind of see a guy like Goddard. He's good. I think Goddard's a good tight end. I just think he's serviceable, but he's not like an elite tight end, And Saquon, I said this about the Ravens this year coming in. The one way teams are going to stop the Ravens easily was stack the box and force the guy to throw the ball. Don't let Saquon or don't let Derrick Henry beat you. It's the same way they're going to beat the Eagles, is stack the box. Do not let Saquon beat you. Jalen Hurts will beat himself, if anything. And that's the problem, is you have a guy, quarterback, that's beating himself. He's not getting the guys he wants involved. Saquon can't come in and bail him out anymore because teams are saying, yo, just stack the box, get this guy, keep this guy contained the whole game, and I promise you we will find a way to win these games. Or at least keep them close at the very least, because maybe they beat us with talent, but you won't get blown out by the Eagles this year. Like give me a game they've blown out anybody. I don't know if they've had a big blowout game. Maybe they've
None of their wins have been convincing. They're 8-3, but very unconvincing.
Very, very
kind of like your fantasy basketball run, Kenny.
Do not talk. My team is just. I'm in a really bad mood about that team right now. I'm really upset.
I was looking at the score. You might see I've been peeking on my phone. I'm down 4 points for this week. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna fucking lose.
I'm down Wemby a few weeks, and that's literally
Then he's on 10 fantasy points. He's on 10. He's averaged 40 all season. He's on 10. I'm about to lose. Kalal Ware, they took a block or a steal off him. So now it would have, instead of being down by 5, it could have been down by 1. It's been a shit show, but it's not the time for NBA talk.
That's a good comparison though, because my team has had some unconvincing wins. But hey, a win's a win. I'll take it. Like we're still in a playoff. We're not in right now, but we still have a chance to do something if we just hold the line. Right now, no, we're down. We're losing bad right now, which is kind of expected. Whatever. But we'll get to that in another basketball episode. But the Eagles just remind me of the Ravens in a way where it's like just more talented. Obviously, I think they're just a better team than the Ravens, but similar like game plan. Stop the run and force the quarterback to beat you with the pass game. And Jalen Hurts has proved this year he cannot beat any team convincingly with the pass game, which means come playoff time, if he's not able to get guys involved, they're going to do the same thing. Teams are going to just stack the run. They're not going to let Saquon break through. And if he does, it's probably because he's just an unbelievable talent. But notice how Saquon's been neutralized the most this year, and their offense has been pretty subpar to average, maybe bad at times. So it's the same thing with the Ravens. You stack the box, you stop Derrick Henry, you force Lamar to beat you, and most of the time he probably won't. Or he will, and it'll be like, okay, you have a chance to win. You have a higher chance of winning the game now. But you're forcing Jalen Hurts to beat you with the pass, and he's not able to do it consistently enough or convincingly enough to do that. So that's my take, and why I don't think they're that serious is because I think they're just so beatable right now. But again, I mean, we'll see what happens in playoff time. Who knows? Maybe they flip a switch and they prove us all wrong, and they just start Jalen Hurts just starts throwing 5 touchdowns a game, for all we know. But we'll see. But I can't believe in them. I don't like them as a roster. I feel bad for the Commanders. I really think if they were healthy, they have a roster. I really like their roster. I really think they could have had a chance of a run at this division this year. Because I don't think the Eagles are that strong. The Cowboys obviously aren't that strong, and the Giants are ass. So kind of going off all that, the Commanders kind of had a bad draw this year with injury luck. But if they would have been healthy, this could have been a really tough division for the Eagles this year, man. I don't know. That's my only thing.
Yeah.
That's all. I thought TJ was gonna come in with some chime, but what I will say is I don't see the Cowboys catching them. But shout out to George Pickens for playing at an elite level right now. I wish he did this last season, but that's for another conversation. I think we will just wrap up with who we think is going to take out the NFC at the moment and as it's presently constructed. I think the way we've been talking, we're looking at either the Rams or Seahawks. I'm going to go the Eagles to continue and take out the NFC still, despite all this, just given that they've obviously been there, done that. The Rams and Seahawks, I feel like they're taking too much out of each other at the moment. And I feel like if the Rams get a wild card spot, either of those get a wild card spot, it's going to be really tough for them to beat any team that is at home. So, and I think when it comes to the finals or the conference finals, it will be between one of those two. And I think when it matters, Philly will just show up. So that's why I'm going with them.
I'm going to say the Rams. Oh, go ahead, TJ. You go ahead. Go ahead, TJ.
I'm going to say for my final two, I'm going to say the Rams definitely look great. Offense looks great. Defense solid. But my second NFC team, crazy. They're going to lose, but they're going to make it there. Finally, the Dallas Cowboys.
What? They won't even get out of their...
Listen.
They will not even get a wild card spot.
Hold on.
That's insane, bro.
No.
Listen.
That's an insane take, bro.
I'm about to end this podcast right now.
Crazy take of the year, but this one actually is worse.
I'm going to clip this shit, so make sure that this thing is like...
Hold on. Let me speak. They needed to revamp that defense. Offense was fine. You need to revamp that defense. Trade deadline, they made some solid moves, right? Quinnen Williams is a freaking monster. He's going to be a beast.
I see what this is a Quinnen Williams stand account right here. It's because they got Quinnen Williams, his former Jets guy, beloved Jets guy.
Quinnen Williams is getting them to the conference finals, man.
It's like the Giants trading neighbors to like the freaking to some other team. Oh, the Eagles. This was like they're saying the neighbors got traded to the Eagles, and I'm a big neighbors guy, and I'm like, oh, you know what? The Eagles are gonna do everything just because I think neighbors is there. Just because
listen, that defense got better. The offense can easily put up 30 in a game. Give me them in the first round against the Green Bay Packers or the Chicago Bears. They could beat both of them. Give me them against the Eagles again. They can beat them. I really think they get there. But the Rams are just way too ridiculous. Rams are going to win it all.
No, man. I think that was an insane take. I think the Cowboys.
I'm going
to quote Stephen A. here. What can go wrong will go wrong with that damn team,
dude,
bro.
I'm coming up, man. I'm on hate watch then for the Cowboys because I don't like them already. If I see them in freaking NFC,
I just think they're also like they're definitely a great offense. I think what gives them a chance is their offense, but the problem is
unbelievable. Love them. I just
think their defense. I just think their defense is gonna fold in the playoffs. I have a good feeling about that. I just don't trust them. And I also don't think Dak. I just don't think Dak in the playoffs is gonna show out and be the guy he's been the majority of the year, bro. It's happened numerous times now. I gotta just go what history gives me. And Dak has been in the playoffs. He has not been that guy come playoff time. He has not. And there's been some times where maybe he's got sold out by his defense, like the Packers game that one year where Aaron Rodgers just Hail Mary'd his way to the freaking win against them, got him in the field goal range and beat him. Like, I don't know. I also have the Rams. I just think they're so strong. I think Stafford has proven to be that guy that could come in and just be that playoff vet, play well, get the guys the ball that needs to get the ball, protect the ball well. And I also think the defense has been really good this year. So I'm going to say the Rams is one. I'm sticking with my guns. The Lions are going to be that second team to come out. And as long as they're not playing on the same side, of course. If they're on the same side, different story. But if they're on the opposite side, Lions, Rams, looking for the conference championship.
I'd love to see that.
And I'll tell you what, that's really one of the toughest matchups I could predict because I really like that team over there in Detroit. But man, I think Stafford's on a mission this year. Do something Aaron Rodgers couldn't, which was get Devontae Adams a Super Bowl win. I think that's what Stafford's about to do. Get Devontae Adams a Super Bowl win. And you know what? I'm all for that narrative, and I can see that happening. I got the Rams going all the way to the chip. I'm not sure if they win.
You missed my whole question. You went straight to it. I love it. So Rams for the chip for Kenny. TJ?
It's going to be Rams Chiefs. Rams Chiefs. Give me Matthew Stafford over Mahomes. I'd go with the Rams.
Wait, I didn't answer.
2-1
I
for
said they'd
Rams.
go to the Super Bowl. I didn't say they'd win. I said they go to the Super Bowl. I didn't say they'd win. If they go against
So
the
who's gonna win it
Chiefs,
then?
if they got the Chiefs, if I have the Chiefs coming out, I think Pat Mahomes doesn't lose back-to-back Super Bowl games. I think he comes out and wins it. I think he comes back, gets his, what is this, his fourth ring or his third?
Fifth.
Fifth?
No.
Fourth or
No.
fifth?
No.
No,
Number
one of
3
these
or
fifth.
4. 3 or 4. 3 or 4.
I think it's his fourth. I
Yeah.
think it's
Four.
fourth.
It could be his fourth.
I think it's his fourth because I would say fifth. I was like, no way.
No,
Fourth
Nah, probably
ring for
fourth.
Pat
My
Mahomes
bad.
this year.
It's fourth.
Pat Mahomes' fourth ring this year. If he gets there, obviously I hope Josh Allen makes it, because if Josh Allen makes it, I want him to win it all. I think he deserves it. He's proven to be a great quarterback year in, year out. He's due for one. I would hate to see him go without a Super Bowl. Pat Mahomes, though, if he gets there, is not losing his fourth Super Bowl ring, and he's not winning back-to-back. He's not losing in back-to-back Super Bowl games this year. I'll say that. So that's my pick if they make it there. That's the Chiefs.
I've got Bills and Eagles. Give me the Bills. That was the same, I think, finals that I had last time. I prefer the Lions to go there. I would like to see the Lions be there, but I don't see it. And I just don't trust any of these regular season teams. The Rams are solid, though. So if Rams do get to the Super Bowl, I like their chances against the Bills probably a little bit more than the Eagles, but I'm sticking with the Eagles to just make it to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, give me the Bills. Give me the Josh Allen storyline. I love that guy.
I would love that. I would love that.
There's
Way
no
too
technical
overrated.
decision. It's an emotional decision. We're
No,
too
there's-
overrated. Here we go.
Way too overrated.
That's a crazy take. Your
You
take
sticking with
this
that take?
This take was way worse, though. This Cowboys take was way worse. So
That cake takes the cake. You would have should have worn the Jets jersey.
I'm gonna give
Everyone
you
would have
a pass
remembered.
on that first one, and I'm gonna cook this take because this take was downright
That's
egregious.
crazy. I can't
Like,
believe that.
Dude, do you know who do you think Dak Prescott is? Who do you think? Dude, CeeDee Lamb dropped 3 balls today. 4, maybe 4, and he's on my fantasy team. I love the guy, but he's not even catching balls in the regular season against the freaking
George
Eagles
Pickens is
now.
wide
He's gonna
receiver
be
one,
in the
man. I don't know
playoffs.
what you're saying. See,
I
I
just
mean,
like that 1-2
I
punch
bet
is ridiculous. If that defense just steps up a tiny bit, Javonte Williams is having a career year.
I
too.
think
Don't
George
forget
Pickens has
that
been the
either.
best receiver on their team this year. That's my
He's been
personal
really good.
opinion. I think Pickens been the best receiver on their team this year, over CeeDee Lamb. That's my
Yeah.
I think he's been better.
That's true. It's proven with the stats.
Yeah,
But
100%.
well,
Crazy take,
We're gonna-
TJ. Crazy take.
we're gonna wrap it up with that crazy take. That was crazy. That crazy take. Man, I'm losing my words. But it's been your boy Daniel. I've been with TJ. I've been Kenny. I've been Kenny. Fucking hell. I've been with Kenny today as well as TJ to discuss all things NFL. Thank you, boys, for tuning in once again. Yous both obviously carry the pod, being Americans, being big NFL fans. Again, I'm still trying to dip my toes into all NFL and definitely learned a lot, continuing to learn as well through that. And yeah, welcome anytime to come and discuss hoops, both NFL and NBA, where I could
Yeah,
probably
for
be
sure.
more involved in for sure. But thanks, guys, for jumping in.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you
Be
for having
good.
me. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yes. Thanks, boys. Cheers.
Peace.
Cheers.
So that's a wrap for this week's episode of the Huddle Within podcast. I appreciate you for tuning in and being part of this community where we go beyond the game and into what really matters. If this episode resonated with you, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who sees sports just the way that we do. And hey, I'd love to hear from you. Connect with me on my social medias, which will be linked below. Send in your thoughts and even be part of a future episode. Until next time, keep that passion alive, stay in the huddle, and remember, it's always deeper than the game. Cheers.